Good morning. Hello,
Morning.
Gogglefrogs. How are you this wonderful Saturday? And how are you, Robert?
I'm okay, thank you. Tired as always, but I'm okay.
Goody. Oh, well,
Very foggy and miserable here, but at least it's not
yeah,
snow.
exactly. So, I hope the weather's lovely wherever you are. It's a little bit grey. It's a little bit misty. It's a little bit lovely in the buzz, but it makes it even better when you start watching Dracula things at about midnight, something like that last night. So the fact it's foggy outside was lovely. So hopefully you had a lovely evening and you're all ready for a day of knitting. You don't like horrors, do you?
No.
No, that's okay. So,
Knitting sounds lovely though, but I'm not sure I will be able to have a whole day of knitting.
no. So I started this yesterday at tea time. So, and this is probably one of the quickest knits I've ever done, which is brilliant. So I'm going to get a little bit of knitting done today, and hopefully finish this by tomorrow. So I'm doing another knit night. You know, I love knit night, but I didn't realise how beautiful it is with a thicker yarn. So I'm doing this on a thicker yarn only because it matches my chow goose. Because I now need to order more chow goose for my beautiful green that I was knitting up. So if you haven't seen us before, I'm Angela, and this is my lovely friend and co-host Robert.
Hey.
Who's all ready to sit back and knit. So all you need for the next hour is a cuppa. I've forgotten to put it in my Gogglefrogs mug. Sorry. You've got the Gogglefrogs mug. I've got the Black Cat mug. So let's have a quick look because this is like splodgy dodgy. So all you need is that, a little bit of knitting, whatever project you're working on, but make sure it's simple. Because if you're watching us and you're knitting at the same time, it's really easy to do a mistake, and that's where you might have to do a little bit of grogging or tinking, and that's taking your work back. So you can see us, but we can't see you. There's a wonderful chat box on the right hand side, so you can put your comments in there, let us know where you're from, etc., and chat and meet new friends. If you're watching on the replay, hello replay, you won't be able to see the chat, and that's why we read it all out. And if you're watching us on YouTube as well, hello. It may be this year, it may be next year, it may be in 10 years time, who knows. So just enjoy. We have no idea what we're going to talk about, but that's what happens in a knit and natter. So in the good old days, when we could go to knit and natter groups all over in our local cafes, pubs, you name it, we used to just chat about whatever and show our work. And that's what we'll do today. So we'll have a little bit of music. We will share each other's work later in the show, and we'll just chat about whatever we want to chat about. So yeah, sit back and enjoy. And have I missed anything?
No, don't think so. Oh, Facebook.
Oh yes, sorry. On Facebook, we have a Facebook group called Gogglefrogs Knit and Natter. Join that. There's only 3 questions to answer. To make we ask the questions to make sure you're not a chatbot, and we will accept you into that group, and that's where you can post all your lovely work. And that's what we go through later in the show, which we will get so much inspiration from. I always do with work out of this group. It's beautiful. So that's wonderful. Oh, so here we go. Starting again.
So how have your last few days been, Angela?
How have they been? I really can't remember them. Days just go into weeks, don't they? It's really weird when you have no sort of when you're not actually physically going out to work. It's really strange. So I think it's been okay. Yeah, we've had a few good chats with my dad. Splodge has almost moved in. I've had to move onto the settee because the cat just does not want to move on a night time. And by the time it's time for me to go to bed, I think, I'll probably wake up Alan anyway. So I've been staying on the settee until Alan goes to work at silly o'clock, and then I go to bed and kick the cat out. So yeah, but Splodgy Dodgy is just sleeping. I tried to get close to Splodge, and he started growling. He started hissing, and Splodge is this big, and I'm this big, and he scared me. To the point where even trying to throw a towel on top of him so I could try and grab hold of Splodge, that didn't work either. So it was really bad. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to get hold of this thing to do those little things like that you have to do with cats once a month. But hey ho, never mind. We'll sort something out. But the poor little cat is just very, very tired. Splodge is over 8 years old. So I just hope that Splodge is okay. And I think somebody's just at the door, so I will be back in a minute.
Okay. Right. So while you're going, let's stop and say some hellos. We're doing normal bottom to top. So we start with Trisha. Good morning, Trisha. We have Marion and Marion. Good morning, Marions. We have Louise. Good morning, Louise. We have Linda. Good morning, Linda. We have Janice. Good morning, Janice. We have Jane. Good morning, Jane. Nice to see you. We have Jackie. Good morning, Jackie. We have Grace. Good morning, Grace. We have Georgie. Good morning, Georgie. We have Denise. Good morning, Denise. We have Deborah. Good morning, Deborah. We have Dawn. Good morning, Dawn. We have Gogglefrog number 1. Good morning, Brigitte. And we have Angela. Good morning, Angela. And Amber. Good morning, Amber. I hope it's nice and bright, or you're getting to see the lovely sunrise in New York. So welcome everybody. As you know, or some of you may know, I don't get to come on as often as I used to. So if this is your first time with me, hi. I think there's a couple of people in there that I've not seen before or haven't been around for a while. So hello. Lovely to see you again. What's in the box?
Oh, it's not knitting related, but if you are part of the Facebook group, you will know that I have a certain penchant in life, and that's that I love Belgium. I absolutely love Belgium. And here's my book of, oh, hang on a minute, let me just, Hidden Belgium.
Oh, wow.
So here's a book about hidden Belgium, off the beat track, unusual things that I wouldn't normally know. But I've been visiting Belgium now for over 20 years. I go over there for lunch, so we drive over for lunch. I can't believe it that last year I did not get there at all, because I think January, February, for whatever reason, we didn't get there. So it's just awful that I haven't been there. So I had a voucher, a Waterstones voucher from last year, from last Christmas. So I went on to order something, and I was going to order a book on knitting, but like hidden cafes, authentic Belgian cafes, unusual bars, hip coffee bars. What else is in? Uncommon eating, creative concept stores. There's all sorts in here. So next time we go to Belgium, Robert, that's it. We can look at a few of these places. So yeah, so it's one of those little travel books for people who've been to the same place I don't know how many times. And even though we go to Bruges every year, except last year, obviously, we go to the same hotel, we walk around the same streets, and we always discover new shops, new cafes, new streets, new something. So fabulous.
I'm just going to interject a little bit here. When she says we, it's not me. I've been with her once.
I've been once. Me and my hubby. Although I go with my other friend as well to Belgium. That's who we go for the day. And sometimes we just drive over. So it's 2.5 hours to Kent. Then get the the Channel Tunnel with the car. As soon as we get to France, we turn left. We exit France. We go up the coast and park up by the sand dunes, get some fresh air. And even in December, I will get the camping stove out. I might make us a fry up breakfast, or I might stop and get steaks or something like that and fry steaks. So we'll dine al fresco, where everybody else has their camper vans and they get their barbecues out. We have a car. We have 2 chairs in the back, and we have a little camping stove because it is just so amazing. Like when it is almost minus figures, eating in the fresh air. So yeah, I've got my hidden Belgium. So hopefully I can discover some new places. And it's written by someone who has lived in Belgium for years, a journalist. So that's good. That's really good. Ah. So I've been waiting for that. I ordered that just after Christmas. I think it's Boxing Day. Oh, yeah, it must have been Boxing Day when I ordered it, or Christmas Day. And they're sent out second class, but there is just such a backlog, isn't there, of posts everywhere. So it's just arrived today. So
it's been really interesting. So for those of you who don't know, I work for the John Lewis Partnership, and I started in John Lewis, and I'm currently on secondment to Waitrose. And in my role at Waitrose, because of lockdown again, all the deliveries have just exploded, and we're at maximum capacity every day now.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my old manager from John Lewis the other day, and he said even though they're closed, they're still taking as much money through online for the branch as they would have done with the branch open.
Oh my word. That is fantastic to hear. Absolutely fantastic.
Imagine all that pressure on the delivery routes. I mean, luckily we use our own internal delivery service, but you can imagine why. So I ordered something from Deramores a week ago, I want to say, and I only got the dispatch notice yesterday.
Yeah.
So you can imagine why everything is taking so long, can't you?
But the one thing that I think is amazing is we all know supermarkets have got a lot of footfall. Of course, they've got a lot of footfall. A number of food shops are doing okay, but when you look at companies like Greggs, who were on every, sorry, I can't go in there because I can't eat gluten, but Greggs always had massive queues outside. They're all, but their amount of turnover has just plummeted. So as a business, they're not doing as well as they were. What I think is amazing is that John Lewis are still trading like they were doing online. That is just so good to hear, because in these difficult times, you know, all we hear is companies not doing as well as they were, but that's brilliant. So a big well done to John Lewis. You're doing something right, which is brilliant. So well done. Oh, so I was thinking actually of today. I thought, bless him, Alan, my husband Alan, because if you're watching this for the first time, we're best of friends. We go away together. Whenever we walk in anywhere, everyone thinks that we're husband and wife, which we chuckle at, but we're not. We've both got.
Shall we tell the story of this time last year?
Yes.
So it gets so bad that so every year I organise a knitting retreat to the Norfolk coast, a little place called Sheringham, and we can't go this year, and it should have been next weekend.
We're supposed to be there today, aren't we?
No, next weekend.
No, next week, sorry.
Yeah, because I didn't know I was going to be in Waitrose, where I'm allowed to take holiday apart from 1 week of the year, and I was at John Lewis, where you're not allowed to take holiday for 8 weeks of the year. And this week is one of them, so I pushed it to next weekend. But anyway, this time last year we were there, and we walked into this little shop, and I have a very good friend who has a birthday. Actually, it was yesterday, so I was looking for a present for her. And what was really interesting was, because Angela was in front of me and I was behind her, but that was only because I'd stopped to look at something, the assistant came up and said, "Oh, if you'd like, sir, there's a seat over there so you can sit while your wife has a look around." I think it took about 10 seconds for us both to get up and walk out.
It was just the fact that Robert said, "I'm the one doing the shopping." And it's so confusing for people at times, isn't it? But it's just absolutely hilarious. So yeah, we are both married to other people, but everybody thinks that we're married. So, which is a nice thing, but it's just absolutely hilarious, you know. Oh dear. I was going to say something else then. What was it about? It wasn't about Sheringham, but it's gone. This is me on a Saturday morning. Do you know what?
Alan, sorry.
Huh?
You were talking about Alan.
Yeah, but what about Alan?
I tell you what, let's do some chat.
Have we had the music?
Let's do chat and music, and then if you remember, we'll catch up on it. Right. So, Brigitte says, "Good morning, peeps. Episode 182." Marianne says, "Good morning." Angela says, "Good morning." Tricia says, "Morning, fabulous morning in South Yorkshire." Deborah says, "Excuse me, morning all." Jackie says, "Morning all." Denise says, "Happy New Year, everyone. This is the first time I've been able to make it this year so far. Happy New Year."
Happy New Year.
Don't worry, it's only my second, and we're 4 shows into the new year. Brigitte says it's icy. Our garden steps and handrails covered in slippery ice. Ooh, hot water, or salt.
Yes.
Louise says, "Good morning, everybody." Deborah says, "It's sunny but extremely cold here. I'm disappointed to not have snow here." Dawn says, "Good morning, everyone. So cold on our dog walk this morning. Glad to be back for a warming cup of tea." Amber says, "Good morning, everybody." Dawn then says, "Adrian is taking Maisie for her walk later and cooking dinner. Result, a whole afternoon to knit. Oh, do enjoy." Marion says, "Amber, good morning to you as well. I don't know how you managed to be up so early." Angela says, "Marion, 8 a.m. was a struggle for me." Marion says, "Angela, 9 a.m. was a struggle for me." Linda says, "Morning, lovely Gogglefroggers. It's cold and foggy out there. Best staying in and knitting." Angela says, "Marion, LOL, I had to set an alarm or I'd still be asleep." Georgie says, "Morning, lovely friends." Marion says, "Angela, I know that feeling too well." Linda says, "Good morning, everybody." Georgie says, that looks a lovely book, Angela." And Denise says she used to go to Belgium to motorcycle rallies. The people there are so friendly.
Oh wow, they are, aren't they? I don't know what it is about Belgium. It is my favourite country in the world. And bottom, I always say bottom Z is Hawaii. So I didn't like Hawaii at all, but because people always say, "Oh, Belgium, Mum, she's probably not gone very far." She's like, "Yes, I have." But I love Belgium. And like you say, the people there are not gush friendly, but they are lovely, absolutely lovely. So yeah, and I didn't like Hawaii because it was. I expected it to be idyllic, and it was more like Dog the Bounty Hunter. I didn't realise it was going to be like that, so that's why it was just a shock for me when I went there. Sorry.
Marion says she ordered from Wool Warehouse on the 29th and is still waiting for a dispatch notice.
They did actually write out to everybody. They sent an email, didn't they, that they've got people shielding, they're on limited staff, and orders going through the roof again. So bless them.
Oh, right. Let's do music.
This choice. And I hope you all are too. I hope you were having a nice little jiggle there. Or maybe you got up to dance. Let us know if you did. But you know what? I haven't heard that in so long. And if you'd have said Tiger Feet, I probably wouldn't have remembered it. If you just said Mud, I wouldn't have had a clue who they were. That is an absolute classic. Total classic, isn't
it? Morning, Tracy, who's just joined us. Oh dear.
Good morning. And can I say, Tracy, thank you so much for the newspapers.
Tricia says, "I hope you're all dancing, even if it is from the waist up." And says she's waiting for the 2 things in the post yesterday. One for her hearing aid supplies, express delivery, supposed to arrive yesterday. The other is her Shiagu needles. Not urgent, I will admit. Of course it's urgent. It's something to keep you busy. Brigitte says Rod is wearing his stocking socks. They look a bit like Tiger Feet. I thought that as soon as I heard the music, actually, that we said that the other day, didn't we?
Oh.
Dawn says, "At Tricia, thumbs in your belt hooks and move those shoulders." Oh yeah, it was
God, yeah,
wasn't it? I remember what she means now. Tricia says that, Dawn, absolutely. Linda says, oh, the sound of my youth, love it. Amber says, I'm able to get up early as I'm the maid for my cat. Yes, I have 2 of those.
I don't even own one. I have a feral that controls me. I now don't even go to my bed because I don't leave it up in the house. But it looks so tired and it's so cold, and I'm thinking, is it ill? But it won't let me touch it. Honestly, tried to defleet the other day. I spray flea stuff on my house. You're supposed to do it every 6 months. So I do it every 3 months, probably every 2 months, just in case. So we're totally safe and fine. Tried to put a blinking spot on thing on the back of its neck. Oh my word. It was hissing, growling. Towel didn't work, flew under. In the end, it got so upset. I thought, I can't even. The little cat, the feral cat, is controlling me, totally controlling me.
And she says on Monday she'll be getting ready for work. Thank you all for joining me on my vacation. Oh, well, we've been part of it for you. And hopefully we'll, even though you're back at work, maybe you'll be able to do what Jackie does, which is listen in the background. Or actually, it will be kind of 5 o'clock in the morning anyway. Maybe you'll be able to have us on while you're getting ready for work and come back on a Saturday if you're up. Georgie says, love that, one of my old favourites. Deborah says that song brings back so many memories of teenage discos. And Trisha says, Brigitte says that, Trisha, yep. Trisha says, our cat Lily exists as soon as we take the flea stuff, exits as soon as we take the flea stuff out of the blister pack.
Oh, it's just, and the laugh was, this is another little story about my husband. So my husband's on the settee, my mum's over there, I'm here by the cat. He says, no, you're not doing this. So my husband went and retired or hid in another room because he just had visions of the cat launching from the back of the settee and grabbing hold of him. So so he vacated and left the room. And I tried, but you know when it's something that you absolutely love and they're hissing and they do get the better of you. Like, I know that I'm bigger than this blinking cat. I know I should be able to grab it, but I just can't in case I hurt it. So never mind. But the story I was telling you before was, I thought, oh, Alan's working the whole weekend and he was up really early last week. So I think I might do a little trip to, what is it, Wenzel's for challah bread and get him some nice challah bread. So, so I might do that. It depends how cold it is outside, to be honest, whether I can be bothered, but I may do that. And also, I've seen a couple of adverts, and please, has anybody bought from here or been in ever? Has anyone ever been to Loaf, the settee company? LOAF. You have?
We used to sell them. We sell them at John Lewis.
Oh, do you? Do you know what? I thought they were. I thought I recognised some of them.
It's so nice and comfy and squidgy.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. So I've now decided that those are probably the ones that I want, although I'm still having that chair from John Lewis as well. The mustard one. You know, the one that I like.
Yeah.
So, but it's not now because we've got so much work still to do in our house. So our carpets now upstairs are ruined because they're covered in plaster. But never mind. So hey ho. It's just we have. Well, keep doing so. But I was looking at the adverts for Loaf settees, and I thought they do really look lovely. And next to one of the Wenzels that I go to, there is a Loaf store, so I thought I might pop in there at some point and just sit on them. And they do beds as well, mattresses. So never mind. Even though we've only had our mattress about 3-4 years, they come with a massive great thing on top, big topper, like you get if you If you ever stayed in a Malmaison hotel, you can have the normal bed or you can have one with a massive topper that just envelops around you. It's just amazing. So, yeah. So one day my house will be finished. We'll be able to get stuff. Oh my word.
Your house will never be finished because by the time you've finished or you think you've finished, it'll be time to start it all again.
I know. I need to get an architect as well for the extension. So that's the next thing. That's my job next week, to find an architect. who specialises in old plaster and stuff like that, so we don't have to educate them. So yeah. Oh, so I can't believe I did this. I know that there's so many of you who've had this finished, but what?
I was just about to say, I wonder if the architect that Dawn used would be able to help you. Maybe that's a starting point.
Yeah, I will try. It's just it's really weird because we've had to take off. So every bit of plaster's been taken off because they put on modern materials on the outside, so it's all gone back to lime plaster. All the walls that need it have now been lime plastered upstairs, and we've now had to take, you can imagine how many layers of paint and stuff were on the wall, so that's come off as well. Because our house couldn't breathe. Because if you have an older house, it's really difficult. So yes, if you know of architects who know about old buildings, have done it several times, that would be brilliant. Yeah, so that's on the card this week. Find an architect.
Right, let's catch up on some chat. Dawn says, Trisha, our cat Quaver used to do that. You would hear the cat flap bang and he would be gone. Marion said, I tried to get the vet to administer the flea treatment on all of our cats. Sometimes they did and sometimes they didn't. It used to be quite a pantomime. Yes, ours at the vets are terrible. Linda says the bread is pronounced holler.
It is. Do you know what? I've always pronounced it holler. And when I went into one of the shops, they looked at me as if I was mad. And I thought, oh, I've always pronounced it holler. Thank you for helping me. I love it.
Amber says she also feeds the stray and feral cats in her neighbourhood. Oh, good for you.
Lady after my own heart.
Dawn says, this is quite funny. At Marion, Quaver bit our vet. He had been a vet in Africa and said he had met nicer lions than our cat. Jackie's got to go. She says, have a lovely weekend. See you on Monday. Bye, Jackie. Tricia says, is your cottage listed?
No, it's not listed. And it's the only one that hasn't had the proper big extension. It's had a little extension, but it hasn't had the proper big one. Yeah.
Dawn says, Angela, I can send you our architect's details. Is in Church Square. And very
Thank
good.
you.
And that's why I said as a starting point, because if he can't help you, he might know who can.
Yeah, and it's
if you think about some of the ages of the buildings in Leighton Buzzard and the surrounding area, if he can't, yeah, I'm sure he'll know somebody who can.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Tracy says she does her cats while they're eating. I have to say, we used to use a spot on, and the cats hated it. But the one we use now, they're absolutely fine with. I don't have to pick them up or anything. I just literally put it on them, and they don't notice it.
So you don't have to push it to their skin?
I go in between their shoulder blades.
Yeah.
Unlike the last one, where we used to literally have to hold them to put it on, and they knew what was going on. This one, we don't pick them up at all. We just literally do it while they're walking past us or they're laying down. Better, and it's a worming treatment as well.
Right. Okay.
And that comes from the vets because I'd never thought of using it before, but we joined what do we do? We're now part of a program where they get their vaccines included and all their flea treatment for the year, and it's the one that they give to you. And I'd never thought of using it before. Frontline, that's what it is, and it's brilliant.
Oh, right, okay. I might try one of those, but it's just as soon as I go like that, all of a sudden I go and so so I'll have to see, but I don't think, if I can't get anywhere near the cat for a flea treatment, can you imagine how hard it would be to take it to the vet? So
yeah.
Oh dear. It is gorgeous though. Well, actually, we don't think it's a he. We think it's a she, but we've never ever got that close to really inspect. But I'm sure it's a she. But we've always referred to it in the he bracket. So yeah, but not here at the moment. Went out at 5 o'clock this morning. So I'm sure we'll be back about lunchtime-ish. So probably snoozing somewhere, but just getting old, getting really, really old, I think. It's oh, as if by magic. Hello, Splodge. I'll just open the door. All of the heat will now leave the house. The back door will have to be left open until the cat is comfortable. So let me go and open the door.
Dear, oh dear.
Come on, Eddie. You're all right. Come on, darling. Come on. You're all right.
Yeah.
I won't be a minute.
That's okay. I'm just just gonna go to Facebook if I can get it to reload. Right, here we go, folks. Let's start Facebook. Here we go. Right, so Louise says, my latest project, I brought this yarn called Figgy Pudding to make a hat for my daughter. She keeps borrowing mine. I love that. I love the colours in that. That's gorgeous. Those purples with those subtle hints of cream and the flecks of brown, which is why I assume it's called Figgy Pudding. Looks gorgeous. So do keep posting as you go through with that, Louise. Linda, 2 more projects cast on, socks and a mosaic crochet jumper. That's currently 3 working projects on the go. The jumper is for my new grandson. Sorry, the jumper for my new grandson is finished and waiting to be washed and blocked. So here we go. This yarn looks lovely, Linda. I'd love to know what it is. And that looks like brioche that you're doing there, I think. And then I'm guessing that's the start of a jumper for you. And then there is your grandson's jumper. Can I just say, I love your Battenberg stitch marker. I don't know where you got it from, but it's gorgeous. Okay. Then Trisha says, folks, you can have some of our snow. 12 days of snow so far. Wow.
Oh my God.
That's amazing. It's really weird how some places are getting lots of snow and some places like us are getting no snow. Linda, here's my stocking stitch shawlette knitted with the lovely Collider from Gogglefrogs. I used 4mm to give it an airy feel and it's beautifully soft. Though it's a very simple design, I think it suits the lovely wool. That's gorgeous. I love how these, what are these called, Angela? Neps?
Yes, next.
I love how they show quite well.
Yeah.
That's
This is
gorgeous.
that, Linda. Oh my word.
Yeah, and that's Collider.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Angela has posted the cast on to her knit night with Ella Ray. That is lovely.
Great stitch definition as well. Really good.
Marion, show it off Saturday. Amia's cardigan finished. Now knitting her little sister's same colour, different design. Should get it done before the yarn and pattern arrive for Richard's pullover. Oh wow! Beautiful cable work down the side, down the front there. Very nice. Brigitte finished it Friday. A blanket for Eric's cousin due any day now in Germany. It's 136 by 120 centimeters. Aldi's Rainbow Cakes Livius is what it's called. That's gorgeous.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It really is.
Lovely.
And what I really like is that from here, you can't really see the colours. So it looks very different. You wouldn't think that there's a purple in there, really. but then when you get close in, the purple is the dominant colour. That's great. Love that. Brigitte tried various edgings on the blanket for Eric's cousin, but none looked the part. So after completing the standard first round in double crochet, I made this very easy and plain one. Looked through all of my books to check it was there. I showed it to a couple of Gogglefroggers and they hadn't seen it either. So I've taken some pictures and added text and hope it makes sense. So do go through and have a look at that. It looks lovely, Brigitte. Thank you for sharing that.
Fabulous edging.
Dawn says progress on the playful shawl. The cascade yarns are beautiful to knit with. Really do like that. I love your tassels as well.
It's beautiful.
Rebecca, hoping to pick up my needles later, feeling utterly washed out, but slightly better than yesterday, which I'm putting down to the medication. I love seeing all your projects. Thank you for sharing. Well, we hope you feel better soon, Rebecca.
Yeah, I hope you do.
This is another post by Dawn. One cake shawl by Patty Cakes yarn free pattern. It's knitting up very nicely with Northern Lights by James C. Brett. Such a simple, nice pattern made lovelier by the colour changes in the yarn or add tassels when finished. So that's gorgeous. Do you know what? After all of that fuss about Northern Lights and how much I liked it, I still haven't ever used it. And I have about 4 balls in my stash now.
It is lovely. Lovely to knit with. I did a bobble cowl with mine. It was really nice.
Renee says, what does everybody use to organise, to store and organise your needles? Any links or pictures would be great for ideas. So please do go in and find that by Renee and post your pictures for her.
Renee, we have a lady, you saw her the other day, Marion, who has just done a whole room, and she has little hooks all around the room. She puts the circular needles on, her needle, like all sorts on. So lots of ideas. So Marion, if you can post a couple of ideas of yours as well, that would be brilliant.
Linda, there's a close-up of grandson's jumper. I love the diamond in the middle.
Wow.
Beautiful. There's another close-up of the cast on for her jumper. Dawn says, Dawn shared some pictures of her latest purchases. I love this. This looks gorgeous. I'm not a pinky person, but this I'm a little bit in awe of.
It's much more muted pink, isn't it? Dusky.
So there she's purchased an advent calendar fabric panel.
Wow.
There's the an orange that she's purchased, and then there we go. There's the close-up of the rhubarb. Really do like that.
Yes.
Brigitte, there's a picture of her border. And another one, and again, let's do go and look at that, folks. Brigitte, I think when we're allowed, I'll come around and record you doing that, so then we can put a video on to share with people. Dawn has shared this very lovely pattern. I love this purple. It's
That's beautiful.
It is, isn't it?
I love the colours.
When you open it up, it wants to go to the it just goes straight to the pattern. It's called a Saraband shawl. It is a free pattern from Love Crafts.
Oh.
Safi says, did I ever show you, Froggers, this blanket I made? The pattern is one of the hexagons from Jamie Crow's Frida's Flowers cowl. I used Stylecraft Special DK.
That's just incredible.
It is. Those colours are just beautiful. Really is.
So thank you for showing whether it was for the first time or again. It's beautiful.
I love this. Stay home, do anything, finish your project. Now, for me,
And that's the only bit of politics we'll ever show.
For me, it's going to be stay home, do your knitting, start another project, not finish.
Admire at your array of half-finished projects.
I do have quite a few, yes.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of all caught up.
Are we?
So I broke my New Year's yarn illusion and failed to upload to a past episode, so I uploaded 4 yesterday instead. But I did get another 10 ready, so it should be ready. I should be able to do them today. And then I think we're then going into old stuff, so I'm going to stop.
Oh, thank you.
If I've missed something, please do let us know, and I will go back to it.
Right, fabulous.
And if anybody really likes, sorry, little plug here, if anybody really likes that shawl that Angela's doing, we do have LRA in stock.
Oh,
still.
Yeah. I bought this for, I don't know how many years ago, I bought this from the local yarn shop to make something for my niece. It never happened. And I just picked it up yesterday. I thought, why haven't I used this before? Sometimes it's so exciting getting something out of the stash. And you just think, they probably don't even make that colour anymore. So many years ago.
Brigitte says, Angela, don't get your house listed as it's going to cost a fortune every time you want to do something. We found that out at the cottage. Had it been listed, we would never have been able to get proper windows and doors put in.
I don't think it's listed because everybody else has had different types of extensions and stuff, but it's just old, and we want the architects and the builders to understand what building materials people used 100 and odd years ago, so they don't even think of using anything modern, because we've just spent 10 years trying to blinking well find out what was wrong with this place, learn, and then start working on it. So yeah, so that's why it's just an architect who, when we say lime plaster, they're not scared by that. So yeah.
Deborah says that, Tricia, I'd love some, as we don't have to go anywhere. It's amazing how Yorkshire weather is so varied, but it is a huge county.
Yeah.
It used to be the same in Kent, actually. North and South Kent would be very different types of weather.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because yesterday morning when I woke up and I said to my mum, oh, it's like snowing up in Pudsey. So it had been snowing all day, so I don't know what it's like. I haven't asked the neighbours up there, but yeah, my mum's down here for a little bit longer. Hello, Mum, by the way. I've put my mum on, so she's in the room.
Right, okay.
So,
Anne says, Angela, you get flea treatment from a vet. Spot on combo one. Robert uses. You can buy Frontline from major pet shops online. You can get others the same. The house spray is better from the vets as well. Also, I use flea dog collar, cut bits off and put it into my Hoover during the summer. Oh,
that's a really good idea, isn't it? Yeah.
Put the Hoover straight into a plastic bag. I've only had a few fleas twice in 20 or more years. I have quite a few cats, but all be handled okay. Brigitte says there really is no need to make a video as the border is so simple. Everyone can do it easily. It's just a slip stitch into each stitch of the double crochet. Okay. Marion says, I used LRA to make Elena a cardigan. Knits up beautifully, goes a long way and washes well. Tricia says that's a great tip for the Hoover. And Deborah says, Angela, I did wonder whether the directive from Bojo would get you through the politics veto. And I agree with you, Robert. In my case, it's start a new project.
No, it's you know what it's like. Politics is just everyone's got a different opinion, but that was funny. No matter what side you're on, that's funny. So that's absolutely fine. Don't worry, we love it.
And Dawn's posted a link for you, which I am just sending you through on Messenger.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect. There we go. I'm all caught up. Louise says my resolution is to finish a project before I start a new one. Lasted a week. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, mine's a bit like that as well. Although I do try and make sure that I alternate between something for me, something for Gogglefrogs. So the Gogglefrog stuff does eventually get finished because it is for Gogglefrogs. So, and I spent the back half of last year working on lots of little projects for us to use this year. So, yes, just got to sit and write them all up now and then work out how we're going to launch them, I guess, or release them. So, I think
so that'll be really exciting, and we there were lots and lots of ideas, but try and cram everything into last year was just impossible. I think it's really nice when you've got different things and we can just enjoy it rather than forcing stuff into. Well, we were trying to shoehorn things into September last year, weren't we? It just wasn't going to happen. So so it's going to be really good that we've got a whole year of patterns to share and stuff like that. So that's brilliant.
Oh dear, I'm knackered already. I've not done anything.
But that's because you've stopped. Yeah.
Oh, I have to say I did treat myself to this.
What's that?
It's a it's called a donut stacker, and in each one of the rings it has so I guess it's for bead storage and stuff, and I didn't know what I was going to use it for, but I just bought it because it was cheap and on sale. But I have decided what I'm going to do with it is somewhere in my mess. I have these things. These are the pictures that you make with the little gems. These.
Oh, right, yeah.
So that's what I'm going to use those for, because it's really annoying just working in that little packet. So I'm just going to split them up into these, and then it'll be easier to move it around the house as well. Because that's one of my planned things for my holiday next week.
Oh, fabulous.
Because Mummy has a special birthday coming up, and somewhere in the mess, I have something for her. No, I don't. Oh, I'd forgotten I've got that one. Oh, isn't it amazing? I keep forgetting I've bought all these bloody things. Oops, yeah.
What have you found?
Wow, I've just found some kumi bracelets. I can't pronounce the word. That I brought at Fibre East years ago.
Oh.
Something for my niece. Ah, there's Mum's present. Ah, that looks nice. I won't show it in case she's watching the replay.
Exactly, yeah. You never quite know, do you?
No. Yeah, but I found them now. That's good. They can stay out. Another thing for Gary to go mad at. And then, Brigitte says, we had a brilliant plasterer at the cottage who did the walls in the cottage years ago. I was asked in the supermarket how he was getting on and I praised his work. A minute later, someone tapped me on the shoulder and asked if I was Brigitte. She had tears in her eyes and said that it was her husband I had been talking about. Oh,
isn't that lovely? Oh.
Deborah says, when I started my Pharaoh headband, hubby turned to me and said, is that another headband? He just doesn't understand.
No, don't.
Georgie says, oh, Robert, that's gorgeous. Love the beaded embroidery. It's not embroidery. It's, and Dawn says it, that thank you, Dawn. It's called diamond dots. and they are just tiny little gems, and you use this little it's not even a needle, it's like a little flat surface. You put wax on it and you just pick the gems up and place them on the sticky fabric, and that's what makes it. So you get pre-printed background, and then this little bit here, you just literally place the dots in, and that's what makes it.
That was quite good.
If you look at the arm,
yeah,
you can see the glue that's used. So yeah, so I loved this when I did it. And then of course you do one thing, don't you, and you think, oh, I really like that, I really want to do more of that, and I bought another 5 or 6 of them and haven't done any since.
Always the case.
That one was a present actually, but it started when I bought a card for Gary for Valentine's Day, and it has the word love done in exactly the same effect in different colours. So
that's lovely.
That's what I'm planning with my little break when I have it.
Oh, fabulous.
Right. Tracy says, I'm hooked on crystal art gems. I did lots of Christmas cards for my aunts and uncles with them. Very relaxing. It really is. There's just something so satisfying about going, right, it's that colour, dot, that colour, dot, that colour, dot, that colour, dot. I could do it for hours and hours and hours.
Quick.
Sorry?
So it's quite quick, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the trick is, because they've got, because it is self-adhesive, when you pull back the plastic, the trick is pulling back enough of the plastic for the bit that you're going to do. Because if you pull it all off, you're then going to get dust and dirt and stuff settling on it, and it loses its adhesiveness quite quickly. So you can't then just put the plastic back on it either. You only need to do little bits at a time. Right.
Very effective though, isn't it?
Tracy says, I used to love cross stitch but can't see the bloody holes now, so it's similar in a way. Dawn says, the girls love painting by numbers as well, just great for chilling out on a rainy afternoon. Becky and Lizzie are never bored. Louise says, it reminds me a bit of the hammer beads that you used to iron. I used to love making them with my daughter. Hammer beads? Never heard of that. If you can find some pictures, Louise, do post in the Facebook group and we'll share them another time, because we're nearly out of time.
Oh, wow. Hammer beads. I don't think I've ever used them. I've just had a quick look, so we'll have a look. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen hammer beads.
Oh, I see. Oh. I think it's just a variation, but you probably use it on clothes. I found the other day. Where was that gone? Because I definitely did have it.
No, I've never known hammer beads, but that could be because I wasn't doing lots of craft a few years ago. Only picked it up about, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. I think, must be about. Yeah, must be about that. 7 or 8 years ago that I picked it back up.
There it is. That's a bead transfer, which I'm guessing is a similar sort of thing.
Right. And what do you do with that?
Why I bought it. I don't actually know.
That's when you know you're in the company of a real crafter. The fact that it's just like, I don't know what you do with it, but never mind, I bought it. It's beautiful.
It's a transfer that you iron on the wrong side and then remove the foil once it's stuck.
All right. So you can put it on a t-shirt or a bag or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, fab.
Oh, I might actually try and put that on my knitting bag then. Okay,
That's really cute.
that can stay out as well. Oh, and see, just all these weird things. I've now just found that.
Oh my
These
word.
beadwork that you put onto, you use on fabric. So you stitch it onto the fabric through the clothing that you want to as well. And then when you're finished, you pull all the fabric away, and that's how you get it onto clothing.
Oh.
Okay, that might have to go onto a cushion. Right, I need to stop looking because I'm going to run out. I'm never going to get all of this done.
No. But
So
it's nice to
right,
know
floats in the drawer,
what you've
doesn't
got.
it?
Oh. I need to get one of those ring things, you know, to do stitching. What are they?
A hoop.
Huh?
A hoop.
That's it, yeah. A hoop.
I have lots. In
Have
different
you?
pictures as well, yeah.
All right.
Right. Let's catch up on some chat and then we'll finish for the day. Tracy says, I also have some great scratch pictures, like what the kids do, but the adult ones of landscapes. Oh, yes, I liked them. I never had a go at them, though, but they look good. Linda says, I'll hammer the ones you iron and melt. Little plastic beads that you make into a picture, iron it, and they stick together. Oh, I see. Right, okay. Deborah says, Dawn, yes, I used to do hammer beads with kids at my crafts club. They loved it. Linda says she's done hammer beads with 40-year-old children and grandchildren too. Brigitte says, I've got some of those beads for my grandchildren. They made coasters with them. Once the beads are in the pattern, baking paper is put on and irons, they melt and join up. Oh, wow. And then she says, where is the hour gone? Thank you for a happy Saturday morning. Linda says, I've used that too, Robert. You can also buy soluble fabric to embroider through too. Ah, okay. Oh, maybe it might be soluble. I haven't read it properly. Trisha says, yes, Brigitte, where has that hour gone? So on that note, folks, it is 11 o'clock. I have a husband downstairs making lots of noise, so I think he wants attention. I'm
going to go and make my mum breakfast. We're having mushrooms on toast and see that the feral cat's okay. Make sure that Splodgy's okay. He won't be a feral, you know, he'll live a few doors away. I just don't realise it.
Anyway, folks, whatever you're up to, have a lovely weekend.
And see you on Monday, 10 o'clock.
I'm not here on Monday, so I'll be with you on Wednesday.
All right. See you Monday.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.